Figuras, bienvenidos a su podcast de Play Sports Podcast. Este episodio vamos a platicar con uno de los entrenadores de porteros con más experiencia en Estados Unidos. Él entrenó a nivel profesional en el FutSal, fútbol rápido, fútbol 11 o fútbol normal. Él es Mark Litton. Mark, thanks for being here with us.
Well, thank you for inviting me in today.
After a brief introduction of yourself that we Googled it and here in the convention helped us, I'm going to try to explain to our audience, who are you, okay? First of all, where are you from?
I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Born and raised?
I was born in Florida, but my family, when I was very young, moved to the Milwaukee area in Wisconsin, and that's where I've been for most of my life.
I think that you were training goalkeepers from 20 years, right?
Oh, gosh, yes. From probably in my 20s, late 20s, all the way to now, so probably closer to 30 years.
30 years.
Yes.
How old are you? If you can say it.
I am 58.
58, nice.
Yes.
Perfect. Families? You have family?
I have a 10-year-old son.
Okay.
Yes.
Married also?
Divorced.
Divorced, perfect. Tell me, how was a normal day of Mark at 9 years old? Why 9 years old? Because us as coaches understand that after 9 years old, we'll start loving the game.
Yes.
So can you tell me a normal day of Mark at 9 years old?
Well, see, it's different because with how old I am, back when I was 9 years old, soccer really didn't exist in the area where I was growing up, but I played all the other sports. I played baseball and basketball and football. It actually, I didn't start playing soccer till I was 15.
15? Okay.
15 was the first time I kicked a soccer ball, and I fell in love.
In high school?
Yes, I was in high school. But because I was very athletic, I had played other sports, it almost came natural. And I didn't start my soccer journey as a goalkeeper. I started as a defender.
Okay.
I was 19 when I started playing goalkeeper.
You were in college?
I was in college, but I wasn't playing for the college team. I was playing for a men's competitive club team.
Okay.
And I was a center back, and our goalkeeper broke a finger, and so I went in the goal.
You raised your hand. I can go.
Yes.
I can be a goalkeeper.
And then it came to the realization that I don't have to head the ball anymore on crosses. I could go and catch the ball on crosses, and so it stuck. I stayed. And so I never went back out again, and so I transitioned into a goalkeeper.
Nice, perfect. So why soccer? Why goalkeeper?
I think it's the individual part of a team sport that attracted me. It's like being a quarterback in futsal. I mean, in football, or being a pitcher in baseball. You know, I wanted the pressure. I wanted to be in the spotlight to shine. Goalkeeping is a separate sport within a sport. Because goalkeepers train differently, they dress differently, they see the game differently, and the goalkeeping world is very black and white, if you know that term. Field players, it's gray.
Yeah.
You can hide in a game as a field player. Yeah. You cannot hide as a goalkeeper.
It's good or bad, that's all.
That's right. It's good or bad. You're either the hero or you're the zero.
The villain.
Yes. Yeah. So that I loved the pressure. I loved the individual aspect of a team sport as well.
Yeah, perfect. And what is soccer for you?
To me, soccer is life. It's the foundation of who I am. It helped me become better at my discipline, my structure, my work ethic. The dedication I put into soccer has helped me become successful in my professional career as well, because I work a corporate position, because it built a stronger work ethic. I knew to be the best, I had to work very hard and dedicate and be disciplined and structured. So it's a lifestyle. It's not something that is 5 months out of the year. You have to live that lifestyle to continually be good at what you do and to continually improve at what you do.
Perfect. So the next question was, what do you do for a living? So you have two jobs,
Yes.
coaching and corporate.
Yes. So I actually, for 30 years, I have worked in corporate America. I currently work for Kraft Heinz.
Okay.
And I'm a senior corporate recruiter. So I hire for our finance and accounting areas at mid-management to senior management level roles.
Wow.
So I say that my corporate job is my Clark Kent,
Yeah.
and my soccer world is my Superman.
Nice, nice. And soccer, what do you do for soccer?
Right now, I am the goalkeeping director for the U.S. Youth Futsal National Team program.
Wow.
We actually just returned from Lisbon. We had 10 of our teams, our youth teams, in Lisbon for international games.
Oh, wow.
And I had 22 goalkeepers there that I sat on the bench for almost every game. I took notes. I worked with them individually to give them instruction and insight and areas where they can go back to their club teams to improve.
Okay, so the corporate life doesn't collide with your coaching life?
I have been able to find a happy medium, a blend. My corporate life, I work 100% from home.
Okay.
So wherever my laptop is
You're
where
working.
my job is.
Oh, that's nice. That's
So
perfect.
but that's part of having to be very disciplined and structured to balance between my corporate work to make sure I don't fall behind, but then also making sure I have enough time to continue to grow and develop as a soccer coach.
That's like the profile of a goalkeeper. Most goalkeepers are like very structured, very
You have to be.
disciplined.
Yeah, someone asked me a couple weeks ago if I'm ever going to retire from coaching, and I said I'm not done learning yet.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this game.
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. So I want to talk about professionally.
Yes.
As I told you before, I Googled you in internet, and it was amazing. Can you explain me how do you could teach futsal, indoor soccer, outdoor soccer? How do you do that? In your career, you do it in different
Yes.
stages. How do you do that?
So I played in college, and then I had a very successful college career as a goalkeeper, and then I went indoors, futbol rapido. And I spent 4 years with a professional indoor team. I never really made it to, being the number one,
Okay.
but it was a great experience to live that professional life. And I realized that where I was going to be most effective in the game was more on the coaching side.
Okay.
I was a good player, but I like to consider myself a great coach.
You feel most comfortable being a coach than being the player, the pro
Yes.
player.
I could step in and be a great pro player, but where I felt I was needed most, where there is a huge lack, is on the goalkeeping coaching side. And so that's where I focused for so many years. And so I was coaching outdoor goalkeepers.
Also.
Yes. So I coached 16 years at the college level.
Outdoors.
Outdoors.
Okay.
And then I also was coaching with a lower division professional program outdoors.
Oh, wow.
But then 15 years indoors as a professional coach with indoor goalkeepers.
A professional team?
Yes.
Pro team?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
10 years with the Milwaukee Wave.
Let me walk away, yeah.
And then I did 1 year with the Cedar Rapids Rampage, and then 4 years with St. Louis Ambush, all in the top professional indoor league.
Wow. And how do you get in futsal?
Well, futsal. So the head coach of the Milwaukee Wave, Keith Tozer, was also the head coach of the U.S. men's futsal national team.
Okay.
So he hired me as his goalkeeper coach for the indoor pro team.
Okay.
In 2004, 2005 season. 3 years later, he hired me as his goalkeeper coach for the futsal national team.
Wow.
And I never played organized futsal, but it was such a great opportunity to learn the game that I educated myself. I learned the game. I trained with some of the best futsal goalkeeper coaches in the world. And I developed my own program and incorporated it not only with my national team goalkeepers, but now with the youth national team.
That's the question I have. It's very difficult. It's soccer, but it's very different sport. The outdoor, the indoor, and futsal is totally different. As a pro goalkeeper, you have a lot of things different, right?
Yes. I would say now, with the training that I do futsal, the training that I do indoor, the training that I do outdoor, futsal is my foundation.
It's more technical?
It's more about whole body. What I mean by that is outdoor goalkeeping for years has been around your hands.
Yes.
It's all about your hands. Where now, if you look at Martinez for Argentina, that big save was a futsal save.
Yeah, the spread one.
And when Di Maria scored his goal, Larice came out in an old traditional diving, and he got beat easily. If Larice would have come out the same way Martinez came out, he would have made the save.
That's a futsal.
And it's a futsal technique. And so now I incorporate the futsal saving techniques, the blocking, the split saves, into not only indoor, but the outdoor game too.
But to be a goalkeeper in the futsal, you have to have balls.
Yeah. Yes.
I used to play futsal in my college years, and I remember getting
You
bang,
have to be very courageous.
Bang. Yeah, bang. Every place in the body, I get smashed.
Yes. And that is also one of the most difficult parts to teach in futsal is courage.
Courage.
To be able to move into a position knowing that you have to block, and they're going to hit a ball as hard as they can, and you have to put yourself in a position to block the shot.
It's going to be like a marble coming at your side, like a canyon going.
And I've developed some techniques to help keepers grow into that courage.
Like training or
the way I train, because outdoor goalkeepers, when they come indoors or futsal, you think about outdoor, a lot of what they see and the shots that they receive are from distance. They're from further away.
Okay.
More than they are from in close. Whereas in futsal and indoor, everything is right in front of you.
Yeah.
And so you have to be able to move in to a position and hold your position and know that you have to block. We have a natural ingrained protection system where we call it fight or flight. And that's where flinching, where some goalkeepers outdoor, when they come in, they will flinch and fade away from a shot from in close.
Yes? Is that like the common response of a human being?
It is. We want to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
And you have to train that out to do the opposite.
To do it different.
And so I have developed a technique to train out the flinch.
Wow. And can you explain me like an exercise that you do that?
Yes. So it's very easy. And I start very gradual where I just have my goalkeepers get into a futsal stance, and I just play balls into their body real easy, where they don't move. They can't close their eyes. They can't turn their head.
No, they
have to just stand
with
and
your hand.
Let the ball. And it's not even moving their arms. It's just blocking. And I gradually then make them start moving and setting and blocking everything out of the hands. Lots of repetition. But then I start throwing it harder.
With your hand?
With my hands. And then gradually then I start to kick the ball at them. And they have to block. And so it's a progression where I'm building it in
the mind.
From a controlled, slower pace all the way to eventually a game pace.
Wow.
And because of that progression, they're able to move and set and block.
Okay.
Because you can't just go from outdoor soccer distance to indoor or futsal, everything right in front of you without developing it and building it into your routine.
Okay, in my college years when I was playing, our coaches indoor, futsal, and outdoor.
Yes.
So us as a goalkeepers, we have to play in the three.
Yes.
It was very difficult for us, like playing in a Friday in an indoor, and then going on Sunday going outdoor. It was for the mind. It's very difficult to shift.
It is. The way I describe it is that as a goalkeeper who plays all three, you have three channels on your TV. You have to be able to turn the channel to futsal. And then your brain and your mind is in futsal. And then you have to turn the channel to outdoor and shut off futsal and go outdoor. And know your spacing and know more hands, less blocking.
And in indoor, a lot of feet. You have to beat a lot of feet.
Indoor and futsal are very similar.
Yeah.
It's more about blocking than catching. Where outdoor is really more about catching. And
Keep them the ball. Yeah.
the way I talk about the futsal, saving techniques, incorporating into the outdoor game, the problem coaches in the U.S. have is, one, they don't know how to train the techniques, the futsal techniques, but two, they don't know how they apply to the game. Because they're not teaching it because they're afraid that their goalkeepers will try to make kick saves from shots that are 20 meters, 30 meters away. And what I'm trying to teach the outdoor goalkeepers about the futsal techniques is traditional goalkeeping outdoors is for the big spaces.
Yeah.
Futsal is for the small spaces in the outdoor game, within the 6 box. And that's where it's better to, like Martinez, small space.
He do it very well.
But a big space, he would make a normal, traditional outdoor goalkeeping save.
Perfect. And you almost asked me every question, but in your own experience, which is more difficult to teach to be a coach of the 3 parts?
They're all difficult because, but I would say that if I had to rank them, futsal is the most difficult because there are more outdoor goalkeepers than there are indoor and futsal goalkeepers. So I am getting a lot of goalkeepers who are coming from traditional outdoor goalkeeping, where it is ingrained in their head that everything is based on their hands, where futsal is really based on blocking in your whole body and lower body, incorporating lower body, split saves, blocks, kick saves.
They didn't use even gloves, right?
Well, I also, a lot of times I'll ask, why were gloves invented for the outdoor game? And a lot of the answers are to protect your hands. And I said, no.
To grab the ball.
It's for grip. I said, because goalkeepers outdoor play in the rain, they play in the snow, they play in the dirt and the dust, and they need a better grip on the ball because it's about catching.
Yeah.
I say in futsal, it doesn't rain. There's no snow.
Blocking.
It's all about blocking. And why you need your hands in futsal is more for transition, for throwing the ball. When you have a big sticky glove that's too big for your hand, you're not as accurate when you throw the ball. And you have to be able to feel the ball to be able to be accurate with your distribution in futsal. That is key because you want to keep possession of the ball.
Nice. So what will you tell a goalkeeper coach for each one of this type of coaches, the soccer, sorry? What do you tell each goalkeeper coach? Like a hint, like a, I don't know, like to do better his job?
I work a lot on the psychological part of the position now. And I tell coaches when they're coaching younger players, teach them the reality of the position. They are not going to save everything.
Yeah.
But the pressure on these young goalkeepers is that they think they have to save everything. And so when they give up a goal in the upper corner that even a pro goalkeeper won't save, they feel pressure that they should have saved that because that's the pressure parents put on them. and coaches put on them.
Yeah.
And a good goalkeeper coach needs to teach them the reality of what is within their abilities to save, and that's what they need to focus on.
Oh, perfect.
Yes, they can try to make the saves in the upper corners, but they cannot feel like it is their responsibility if they give up a goal in the upper corner. It's their responsibility if they give up a goal that goes through their hands.
Perfect.
So I tell when they're dealing with younger goalkeepers, I call it a saving circle. That when goalkeepers put their hands up and they step one step left and one step right,
that's the circle.
that is their area that they need to control.
Huh?
And then as they get
makes
older,
sense.
their circle expands, and eventually they'll get in those low corners and high corners.
That makes sense. So I know that futsal is like the beginning of the soccer. As the age go bigger, you go to different like 5x5, 7x7, 9x9, 11x9.
Right.
11x11. So how do you teach the goalkeeper from futsal all the way to in the progression of the soccer teaching? I don't know if I explain myself.
Yes, no, I understand. Because it's all about spacing. Because futsal, like I said, it's the small space. So there's different techniques that you need to use in small space. But I don't look at it as futsal, indoor, outdoor. I look at it from a spacing standpoint.
Okay.
Because the same techniques in futsal for small spaces are the same techniques I teach my outdoor goalkeepers for small spaces.
Like I ask you this because in Mexico,
Yes.
like 6, 7 years old, they are playing 5x5 like futsal.
Right.
And we have goalkeepers 7, 6 years old. They love goalkeepers, being a goalkeeper. They don't want anything but being goalkeeper. But for them, the goal in futsal is going to be the same as they go up in 7x7, 9x9. So what do you recommend for this kind of kids, 7, 6 years old, playing futsal, what to train? Because futsal for them is like a full goal.
Yes.
Full size.
At the youngest age, a lot of it I teach about their movements and their position and closing, knowing when to close space.
Oh, okay.
Because even though the goal is the same size, they still have to close the same space as the older goalkeepers need to know how to close the space to make the goal smaller behind them. And then as they close the space, they have to use the proper technique based on the space, the angle of the ball, when to go into a block save versus a split save versus saving with the hands.
Oh, nice.
But it's the same that I teach the young goalkeepers all the way up to the top goalkeepers. Their movement, their body shape, and how to control their spacing, closing angles.
Perfect.
It's all the same. It really doesn't matter the size of the goal. It matters the closing of space.
The spacing.
The spacing.
Oh, nice.
And then as they go to outdoor and the spacing increases, then I get into more of the traditional outdoor saving techniques.
The handling.
The handling, the more handling for big spaces, but still emphasis on the futsal foundation saving, blocking in the small spaces of the outdoor game.
And the timing, right? You have to teach the timing.
Correct.
Ah, nice, perfect. So, Mark, we have all the professionals, so we have 25 minutes talking. I'm gonna end our episode with some questions.
Sure.
You have to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
I think that you have done this exercise, but the past of Mark. Past of Mark.
The best of me?
Okay. The present of Mark.
The present of Mark, teacher. Still teaching the game.
The future.
Continuing to learn and teach.
Your mentor.
Keith Tozer. He's not a goalkeeper.
Ah, really?
He is someone that has helped to create the path that I am on.
Nice. Your inspiration?
To continue to share the knowledge. I don't own the information in my head, so I coach a lot for free. I don't think it's right for me to charge someone for what's in my head because I don't own it.
Oh, that's great. That's great thinking. So, I don't know if you see the TV announcement that Peyton Manning and David Beckham was talking about, like, layers. You remember that?
Yeah, oh yes, yes.
Okay. For you, is football or is soccer?
It's football.
Perfect.
Because I like to think that my influence is more international than just domestic.
Yeah, perfect. Pelé o Maradona?
Messi.
No, Messi o Cristiano?
Messi.
Messi. The
No,
best
Pelé. Pelé and Messi.
and Messi. The best goalkeeper of all time?
Oh my gosh, I love Keylor Navas
Keylor
from
Navas.
Costa Rica. Edwin van der Sar.
Van der Sar, yeah, really good goalkeeper. The best goalkeeper of the States of all time?
Tim Howard.
Tim Howard, yeah, good player. If you were a pro goalkeeper right now, which team do you would like to play?
Oh, Manchester United.
Madison, yeah, of course. If you are a pro goalkeeper right now, which coach would you like to be in this?
Under the goalkeeper coach,
Yeah.
Frans Hoek.
Where he?
Frans Hoek is from the Netherlands,
Netherlands.
and he's coached at Manchester United, and he's one of the most successful goalkeeper coaches.
Oh, wait, I didn't know it. Oh, nice. So, Adidas or Nike?
Nike.
Back in the 90s, the MLS at the end, if they tied, they use shootouts.
Shootout, yes.
What will you like, shootouts or penalties?
I like the shootouts
Me
because
too.
we use shootouts in the indoor game too. It's
mo-
more exciting.
It's more exciting, funny.
I think it's more balanced between the shooter and the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Penalty kicks, it's a disadvantage to goalkeepers.
Perfect. What would you like to if you are in the final of the World Cup, you will win as a 0 goals or win in penalty as a goalkeeper?
Me, I'd win it in penalties.
Yeah, of course. What would you like, good goalkeeper with the feet or good goalkeeper in the air?
They have to have good feet in today's game.
Yeah. What do you prefer, student athlete or professional career?
Student athlete.
Definitely.
Because professional careers are a very short time in your life, but a student athlete is educating themselves for the rest of their life.
Perfect. So, to end this episode, can you give me a phrase or something that identifies yourself that you can tell the students or something like that?
I would say that for myself, it's being a good mentor, helping kids chase their dreams. The one thing I live by is that mistakes happen. And typically the team that makes the least amount of mistakes is the one that wins. But goalkeepers have to understand that they cannot be perfect. They have to embrace their mistakes and use their mistakes to build and continue to grow. I am not the type of goalkeeper coach that punishes goalkeepers for mistakes. I want them to make mistakes because those are the best opportunities to learn.
Yeah, I don't remember which coach told me, but he told me, love your mistakes.
Yes, embrace your mistakes.
Yeah, embrace your mistakes.
When you make the same mistakes 4 or 5 times, that is when we have a problem.
Yeah.
I tell goalkeepers, I don't judge you on your mistake. I judge you on what you do with your mistake. How do you respond after you make a mistake?
Yeah.
That's what's going to show me your character.
Perfect. So, Mark, thanks a lot. On the time, on the money, we ended. Okay, please give me a second. I'm going to say goodbye in Spanish.
Yes, thank you.
Figuras, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. Excelente plática con Mark. Pueden ver muchas cosas importantes de su historia, de cómo entrenar diferentes jugadores en diferentes tipos de fútbol. Cualquier duda, comentario, les voy a poner las redes sociales de Mark y nuestras redes sociales. Entonces, nos vemos en el siguiente episodio y muchas gracias.